after the market close. Tom takes your phone calls from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time using the data available at that time.
Let's go to Glenn in Massachusetts. Hey, Glenn, what's going on?
You know what is good for us is Tom O'Brien providing an unbiased source of information for us investors. You don't have an agenda. It's just to cut through everything and to give us the facts. I want to thank you.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
And now, here's Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 2 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Cultivate wisdom. You don't need to accumulate knowledge to become wise. Anyone can become wise. When you become wise, you respect your body, you respect your mind, and you respect your soul. When you become wise, your life is controlled by what? By your heart, not your head. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow close flat, NASDAQ down 22, S&P's off 4.5, gold contract down $18, trading out at $1,538 an ounce. Silver down $4.30 at $41.71. Silver, by the way, folks, is down 20% in 4 days. Platinum down $4, trading out at $1,856. Copper up 5 pennies at $4.24 a pound. Light sweet crude down $2.42 a barrel at $111.11. How's that? $111.11. I like that. Bonds up 16 ticks at 123.03. Now that little baby's going after that high volume high. I suspect you're going to see that tomorrow or the next day. Dollar index up 13 ticks at 73.27. Euro flat at 148. Yen down 25, trading out at 80.98. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. You're down $4, really a sideways market. You did 972 million shares versus 900 million. This is going to make its way down to the next stop is that 1344, which was the high of the 18th of February. And how we come into that's going to, but basically you get in, if you get into that, folks, which I suspect you're going to, that puts in play the 1280 to 1249 once again, the March 16th levels. We go over to the Dow Industrials. Dow Industrials, what they did out here today, flat market, Dow, bottom line. Now, what gets it really interesting with the Dow is this. This little symbol up here, okay, is about as close as you can get. Well, no, you can get closer. It's called the Tri-Star Doji. And what that is, folks, is 3 little dojis at the top. Now, we only actually have 2. Because the one on the 29th is that'd be stretching it. But bottom line, you come down with volume tomorrow, that's quite a symbol that's up there. NASDAQ Composite. We have what the composite is this. Composite comes off the highs with expanded volume. Composite right now is at 2841.62. Now, check this out. This is pretty wild. The 18th is 2840.50. We went down to 2825. I suspect we're going to be right back down into those levels. Now, NASDAQ, in spades, showed its hand. 2.2 billion shares. We haven't done 2.2 billion shares in a long time, folks. Bottom line, you go up to highs, we're coming down, and you get volume expanding. That's saying the NASDAQ wants to get into the 2840, number one. I suspect what's going to be wide open then is the 2603 area, which is the March 16th area. Gold contract. We have with gold out here is this, folks. Now, we were talking about silver yesterday after Sunday night. Gold last night, let me tell you something, folks. It was amazing, too. And it was when Larry was on, Larry and I, we were actually talking about it. And sure enough, Larry, I was on my way home last night when the gold market, you talk about cracking. This little baby, folks, in a heartbeat went from 1545 to 1516. Now, it came right back. It came right back up, started trading at 1543. Bottom line, instability. That's what's going on here, folks, okay? Now, what you also had after hours last night was this. Now, check this out. Inside trading after hours last night, you had a huge amount of health stocks that they had to bust the trades at. Now, that's really unusual. Because after hours, normally they don't bust trades apart. Bottom line, they traded 30% under what they closed at. So they NASDAQ bust them all. My point is this, is that when that happens, folks, well, first off, what ended up happening with the silver market is that Sunday, they went up on the margins, bottom line, no buyers. When bids get pulled away, that's when problems can escalate very quickly in the marketplace. That's what happened. Bottom line, margin went up again yesterday. Bottom line, folks, margin just went up again today. And the reason being is this. When silver, so check this out. What happens, folks, is that coming in today, the margin was 14,512. That's going up to 16,200. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot, and it really isn't a lot because of the leverage that's involved. The reason being is that per contract, folks, like today, we had a price spread out here of $40 to $45.60. Well, you know what, folks? That's $5,000, $25,000 per contract. So that's why they have to go up in the margins. Where people get trapped like rats is that they parlay on the way up, and bottom line is that you get, never mind 2 days, you get 1 day like this, and it's enough to basically, take the thing south. What we have here now, of course, is that silver is down 20% off its highs in 4 days. That, folks, is a disaster. I suspect you're going to see more of it. Why? Because when you have, number one, a situation like silver did, meaning it never stopped going from $26 up to $49. The euphoria was there. They parlayed on the way up. They got whacked on the way down, and that is not over yet, particularly because the margins went up again today. And normally the way a broker deal would work is that they'd let them kind of work it out at the end of today, but the bottom line is that they're going to cut to the chase. So I suspect what you're going to see is that silver is going to do the same deal, come down again. Now, what you're also going to have here, if silver, in fact, does the same move, so check this out. If silver does the same move again tomorrow, what you're going to have is you're going to have 3 black crows in silver. And 3 black crows, folks, okay, for traders out there is basically a trader's paradise. And this is why. What happens with 3 black crows, now this is, watch how this gets, you talk about deviant, folks, this is so deviant it's unbelievable. What happens with 3 black crows is that you come down, and then it tries to make it all the way back up. And what happens, of course, in my case, is that you're down on volume, you're coming back up on lighter volume, and then you start firing away again. So it's going to be, tomorrow's going to be a big day. But if 3 black crows show up, folks, let me tell you something. Number one, if you are short silver, you want to be closing those babies up. You want to put buy stops in. That's what you want to do. When you have an escalation down like this, what you don't want to do is just cover the position. What you want to do is you want to have the market take you out, because when you get escalations down like this, they can get extended just like it got extended on the way up. Let's go to George in Boston. Hey, George, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure, thanks for calling. How you been, man?
It's not too bad.
That's good. You know what's amazing? I'll tell you, folks, you got to love life. I was thinking of you this morning on the way in. I said, man, I haven't heard from you. I'm not kidding. Isn't that crazy?
I'm still listening to your call, but just didn't call in.
No, it's just funny how it works, man. It's just funny how life works. I'm telling you, man, that energy, folks, I'm telling you something. If you really want something, just think about it. I was thinking about you this morning, man, and that's this crazy. I love it, man. That's a beautiful thing. What are we going to look at?
So, would you mind to help me to look at the TZOO, see what's the buy-in point?
Okay, let's take a look. You get Travel Zoo. This is online marketing solutions for the travel industry. The low is 1160. The high is 106. They have 5.5 million shares outstanding. 1.72 million of those are in a short position. Okay, so let's take a look. So this one here gets a little bit dangerous, and this is why, George, right? You hit the high, you get to 103. And that 103 had no volume. You had 2.2 million up there, okay? Then what you did, and this is where the dangerous part comes, all of a sudden the equity goes from 102 to 86 with 3.9 million. This equity hasn't done, let me pull this back for a while. Yeah, this equity has never done 3.9 million in a day. That's volume off the top, okay? Yep. So let's bring this back in a weekly. You just need some patience on this. So the way this is basically set up is that you're at 75. This can get into 61 and even 47. You know, and now at those levels, right? You do want to be all over it because you have two. You have the issue on a short-term basis that you get volume off the top. Volume off the top indicates that you're going to have a much larger correction than folks think of the equity. But then what you have is now you get volume at highs, which is 103, which is a beautiful thing because you want to buy it. You know, so just have some patience, man. You know, and see how it comes into each and every level on the way down. You know, you can see the first level came in with way too much volume. You had a gap here, folks, at $73.87. Well, that came into the gap with 1 million shares versus 900,000. That's telling you right there, don't touch it. You know, so just you know.
I was thinking the stock will stay here around $70. Here could be a big resistance. You do think so, or you? Don't?
I do not, and this is why. It only traded here, and I can see what he's looking at, folks. He's looking at from April 4th going over to April 20th. That 10 days of trading, George, is nothing. That's not, you can't count on that as support.
I see.
On the way down. 10 days is nothing, man.
Particularly, so the next support level, could be a 50-day moving average?
Most of the time. Well, it could be. Yeah, it could be. But, you know, when you have volume, right? Let me show you something. If you use 50-day moving averages, you know, they're cool. They work, and they're good. Okay? What you want to do when you're looking at them, however, is this, okay? Is that if you go over I want to go over the XLE for you in a second. I want to show you something. If you slice through any of those averages with volume, though, watch out and don't even think about it. If you take a look at the XLE today, the XLE blew through the 50-day with volume. When you see that with volume, George, don't touch it. That means it's going to basically get blown apart, man. Cooking, brother?
Thank you.
Okay, have a great one. Have a safe one. Let's go to Bob in Largo. Hey, Bob, what's going on?
It's been a long time since I talked to you. How you been doing?
I'm doing great, man. You having a good day out there?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Nova Gold.
Nova Gold. Let's take a look at it. You got Nova Gold. This is an exploration company. Does business in North America, Alaska primarily. The low is 581, the high 1690. Okay, so what are we doing?
I thought about adding to a position, but looking at the it tested well. What to do?
Let me ask you something. Have you ever taken money off the table yet?
Yes, I have taken.
That's
some
a beautiful thing. Okay, cool. Okay.
And, so it's. Want to talk? You have to come back from the break?
Sure, absolutely. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. And listen, folks, don't forget, if you want services at TFNN, and bottom line, you know, now to in the future, we have the Tiger Pass up and going. And the way the Tiger Pass works, folks, is that you can make 50% on your money this week. We're going to be right back.
Great Basin Gold is an